let's have a beautiful experience. In this video, we're going to talk about being neutral, how to naturally raise your testosterone, your human growth hormone, and make your penis bigger. It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it. All right, before we get started here, please do me a huge favor. Please ring the bell, subscribe to the channel. Of course, tell some friends. Make sure you give me that Earth Defines It Really thumbs up like so I say, hey. And of course, follow me on my social media. I go by Jesus_Detroit on my Instagram, Snapchat, I'm YOUNGDAYGO. And that's right, in this video we're talking about being neutral, because you know what we're all about in the BCC, the Big Cock Consciousness, the Big Cock Collective, where I help you manifest a bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder penis. Help you naturally raise your HGH, your testosterone. I'm a spiritual guide and a mentor here to expand your mind and increase your size. So without further ado, I'm here to tell you about being neutral. And yes, man, it's about just going with the flow, like I usually just always say, telling you it's about that wu-wei flow, the path of least resistance, not necessarily doing things in a particular order, just doing with things that make you the most happy and just keep you flowing and going. And yes, what we're talking about essentially is much like driving a manual transmission. I mean, this is kind of like an analogy that came flowing through me in the universe. And what we're talking about is sometimes you gotta pop that clutch in, because if you're in too low of a gear, you're gonna be fighting the flow. You're gonna be going, and then granny shift and not double clutching like you should. Vin Diesel analogy, Fast and the Furious, Dominic Toretto. You know what we're talking about right here. And what we're saying is, and then of course, if you're in too high of a gear, you're not going to be able to keep up. You know what I mean? You're going to have to downshift eventually. That's why if you keep it in neutral, you're going to be able to just keep it flowing. You're going to have that natural pull that's just going to take you along the way and make you that streamlined butterfly. Robert Duvall, going at 60 seconds, had to hit it again with another movie reference right off the rip, because you know how I go, you know how we grow. Always, like any single day, anytime, I always got to say, if you're grinning, you're winning. And the smile is divine. It's made inside the mind. So never forget that. Whenever you're smiling, you're doing something right. You're shining at your most divine nature of what we all really are. Because at the end of it all, the beginning of what we all come from, energy, we all come from excitement, we all come from love. And you never forget that. The people that brought you here were excited to do it. I mean, whether they tell you whatever story you may or may not hear, if there was surrogate parents, if there was paperwork, if it was, some type of struggle story, whatever it may be, there was excitement somewhere. And the fact that you're here is a beautiful gift. And for that, I gotta say salute. Oh yeah. Drinking that vino flow, keeping it neutral. And myself, I've been up for, I don't know, like maybe 26 hours, maybe a little bit longer. Who knows? And like I always gotta tell you, the best way and to go through about that is to go forth and tell nobody, just like JC, Jesus Christ, that I had to do it. Don't take it. I'm just trying to make you smile. But like I'm saying, the best way to really get through that, like, how can you stay up all these hours and this and that? The best thing is, mind over matter. And whenever you got to just follow, whenever you got to climb that ladder, sometimes you got to keep on going. I mean, that's just the way it goes sometimes. And some days, you're staying up for many. And some days you might be able to get that rest in perfect and beautiful. But nonetheless, you're always doing something for the grow. You're always, you're always increasing your flow. And that's what this is always about every single day. And when we're coming through this whole pandemic way and all this type of madness, that I really feel it's a beautiful experience that we're all going through. And I feel that there's a cleansing of the world, and I feel that we're all shifting. We're talking about, whether whether you're, downshifting a gear, whether you're in neutral, whether you're in a high gear, it doesn't matter. We're all going somewhere anyways. And wherever you want, wherever you happen to be is all where you are. So this is what I always got to say, man. Like we all might be from the same planet, but we're all from different worlds. And as long as your world is coming with love and coming with energy, you can do no wrong. And that's really what it all comes down to. And you know me, since I got that heart pumping, and we're talking about being neutral and some of the best ways to definitely keep it clear. Like I always say, if you want beauty to appear, you got to keep it clear. You got to be a clear conduit for growth. And when we're talking about spreading love, you know me always sharing that matrix hack every single time. It doesn't matter where you're at, if you're at home, if you see somebody on the TV, hear somebody on the other line of the phone, whether you have a thought that's good, bad, or neutral, even if you're just remembering about somebody that you were thinking about earlier, just remember this. Just intend on that person, that soul, to have a beautiful day, to feel love in some kind of way, and you go along your way, and you just hacked the matrix. You just made the world a better place, and it really is that simple, because you understand that whenever you're taking care of yourself, you're making yourself, naturally raise your testosterone, keeping your mind clear, keeping that, that testosterone, that HGH flowing, your muscles growing, that skin glowing, the hair flowing, and that huge piece of meat swinging between the knees, throbbing in the pecs, making you your best. You know what we're talking about. Give it a kiss. How you doing? We're talking about becoming the giants that we are. We're talking about not worrying about the little gremlins at your feet. Talking about just being them huge giants of love. Not worrying about nothing because we're huge. And that's what it's all about. It's about just, being you and being the best version that you can be. And you know me, I'm always here to help teach you along the way with my, techniques that are continuously manifested through me. You know what I got to tell you is about the masturbation for manifestation. We're talking about aroused workouts, working out with cock rings. We're talking about being and, using sexual energy to really manifest the grow with your body, because that sexual chi is real. And when we're talking about the feel and we're talking about that grow, it's something that I'm here to share it with you. So you guys got to get at me. I'll teach you the super Kegels, the super Jalk, and the super edging. I'll teach you how to grow, and that's what this is all about, helping you become your best version. And my main intention is for you to be confident and comfortable in your own skin, because you are a beautiful piece of the divine, and that's something you should ought to know at any given time, man. You should really give respect to yourself. And always, like I said, man, whenever you're doing something for yourself, like me having this glass of wine right now, always be on the side of the good. Never look at anything, in that negative aspect, because that's no good for nobody. And there's everything that, could be looked like. Even Gandhi himself could be looked at in a negative light. All that matters is what you feel is right. And when we're talking about being neutral, that's really what this all comes down to. It's not about, jumping on into the argument. It's just about being all right. You know what I mean? I'm going to hold my place. Whatever you got to say is your opinion, and that's, and you're valid, and you have your respect, and that's the way that it's got to be for you. But it ain't about that for me. And, and you ain't got to jump into it, because you know how certain arguments may take you, and you know what that energy may do to you or may not do to you. And that's why the whole aspect of being neutral is huge. When you're in that neutral playing field, you're not jumping on anybody's side. You're not giving any more energy, any more fuel to the fire. You're just letting that thing just ride its desire, and you're going to be able to light the fire, getting lit, making yourself just be the best that you can be. And you're not giving no harm in anything that you gotta be. And when we're talking about, of course, there's gonna be those certain situations where people are gonna be like, well, what side of the sand that you're on, what side of the bridge that you're gonna be on. But you know what? Cross that bridge when you get to it. I mean, if you're in a place where it's like neither, where it's not necessary, then you know what? Just hold your space. And that's really what it all comes down to, because you're gonna be rewarded handsomely, rewarded tremendously for doing so, because you're not going to be giving energy out that doesn't need to be, it doesn't need to be flexed or shed or whatever. And, you got to be able to hold your space and hold your faith. And that's really what it all comes down to. Like, if you know that, if you have an ultimate knowing that we're going to keep on going, we're going to keep on being, and you're going to be able to do this, then you hold to that, and you ain't got to go ahead and tell anybody but yourself. And that's really what it all comes down to. You look at the man in the mirror, the beautiful person that you may be, the beautiful being that you are, and always, be there for you, because whenever you're giving love to yourself, you're giving love out there. And whenever you're giving love out there, it's coming back to you. And that's the yin and the yang, the wu to the wei. And when we're talking about that flow today, you might be getting a reflection of your own insecurities and your own doubts when somebody might be checking the way that you're feeling at a given time, and somebody that might be just throwing that monkey wrench or whatever, that jab or that stab. But I just watched that Mocky Mock movie, told you the last time, you know what I mean, and giving you that jab in the ribs or whatever with the shank. And you just gotta hold that pace and be like, whatever. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna matter for nothing. You know what I mean? Just let it flow like a cloud in the sky. Understand that all storms will pass. And you ain't gotta go out there and start yelling like Lieutenant Dan, "You call this a storm? It's gonna be you and me." I don't know, Lieutenant Dan, he was angry at me. I was scared, and then you ain't got to do nothing in those situations. Just hold your space, be neutral, and do the best that you can do for the moment, because essentially that's all we are anyways. We're doing the best that we can at any given time. And I got to go ahead and drop the Corrado Soprano line, and he talks about being the boss of the family, and it's something that can resonate with anybody being the boss in their life. And what it all comes down to, that's what being the boss is being the captain of the ship. And sometimes it's smooth sailing, other times you hit the rocks. But that's just the way it's got to be, you know what I mean? And for the most part, you're just sailing smooth, and that's really what it all happens, what you're doing. And at the end of the day, we ain't going down like the Titanic. We're gonna be raising it up with that huge piece of meat. Had to hit it again. You know what we're talking about? BCC. We got to make this thing grow as big as you want it to flow, and that's what it's all about. Give it a kiss. How you doing? And you know me, always sharing that energy is always there at any given time. I just had me a bloody steak, medium rare, and I had me a little bit of vino, and I've been up for 26 hours or so, but I'm still here to share with you this energy flow, man. And I can just tell you, we can grow at any given time, because energy is neither destroyed nor created, it just is. And how does a rainbow go? It just does. Joe Dirtline had to give you something. Life's a garden. Dig it. Dig this pump, because it's your mind that's creating the muscle, man. Never forget that. It's your mind that's increasing the size. Just like Pearl Mohansa, Yogananda says, the one that brought yoga to the West. Steve Jobs intends on us to read that book. And like he says, the ones that believe they're crazy enough to change the world are the ones that do. For that, Steve Jobs, I love you. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about growth. We're talking about becoming the best that we can be. And we're talking about putting your mind into the muscle. It doesn't matter what time of day it is, how much sleep that you got, how many hours you've been working. All that matters is putting your mind into the size and understand that you can be doing something to utilize this energy and utilize the manifestation of your body at any given time. And that is the key to letting you know that we grow. And when you got to get yourself some positive mantras to really let it flow, you go ahead and say an Abraham Hicks. Things are always working out for me. I say thank you to that. And of course, my favorite, I am magic, I am divine, and the universe is on my side. So go ahead and say that one. It feels good. And then give some gratitude. You know how we're going. Where that's coming next. But you know what we're going with right now. The gratitude of the muscles that you got. So always give appreciation to what you got. Like, I'm so happy and grateful that my huge, beautiful muscles are growing bigger, harder, stronger, more defined, abundantly. And then for that penis, I'm so happy and grateful that my huge, beautiful penis is growing bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder, abundantly. And I'm sweating right now. Detroit, Rock City, quarantine, doesn't matter what's going on. All that matters is I'm growing, I'm flowing. I'm letting you know that if you gotta get one last rep out, you know what you gotta do. You scream and you shout, or at least feel it in your head. Just, you know it's beautiful. So feel this flow, feel this grow. I am magic, I am divine, and I can increase my size. Oh yeah, 2020 getting huge. Let's grow massive. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it, man. It doesn't matter, man. The flow is real, and for that, I say salute. Oh yeah, I'm about to do some Valvoski when he comes out with the chalice and starts drinking. I don't know. I think, or was it Val Venus? I remember the one vampire wrestler guy in the dress shirt. Whatever. Be as it may, you know how we doing it today. The vino's the flow. The grow is always going. And being neutral is a huge game changer to anybody. Does being neutral mean that you're not going at a high speed or a low speed? It means you're ready for any speed. And sometimes you gotta just be able to just ride down that hill. Other times you gotta be able to drop that gear, pop that clutch, and just ride that, ride that energy and be able to climb that hill. And that's what we're all talking about. That's what being neutral is. It's not about anything other than just being ready. Being ready to be ready, man. And that's what life always is. It's always going to continuously go. We're going to continuously grow. And that's why we're here to flow. For that, another salute. Thank you. Oh yeah. And before I go, you know how I start my day. You know what it's coming down to at every given time. Before that feet hit the ground, before you got a breath, you can recollect. Remember this. Go ahead and take this breath with me. You know it feels good. Just feel this. I got a shot today. I feel beautiful because gratitude is the attitude, man. You got to be thankful that you woke up today, that you're here, that you can essentially keep growing. You can make yourself feel millions of beyond of anything, of millions of billions of different ways and possibilities that are all flowing through us. And we're here to keep going. And that's a beautiful thing that you ought to know. And you got a shot at what? A shot at life. And that's a beautiful thing to know. You know me with that Rocky Balboa flow. I know he never said a shot at life, but it just seems like something that, I don't know why I'm going into this, but I gave my turtle side, I gave him more moss and flies, and I took him and I had to hit him on the shot. Hey, easy, I had to hit him on the shot. What a gift? Give him what? Shell shock. You get it? Yeah. You guys remind me of my coconut. Have my turtles cuffed and licked. All right, you know me. Rocky Balboa fan, and I'm always doing something to just keep myself smiling every single day, whatever it happens to be. If you got to scroll the gram, you got to watch something on Netflix, just make sure it's making you do a lot of this, because if you're smiling, you're lifting yourself up, you're lifting the world up, you are making the world a better place to be in, because the happier you are, the happier everybody is. And that's really what it comes down to. You are in charge of your own happiness. Like my famous quote, man, there's a sad man on a yacht and a happy man in a box. It's all perspective based. So you got to be able to just appreciate every moment that you got, every breath that you're here. You got a shot. So feel beautiful for it, man. You guys, this is an exciting thing, man. No matter what, we're going through some history. We're shifting. That's right, granny shifting. We're double clutching, man. We're power sliding. Tokyo Drift. You know what we're going with. We're making this thing lit. And we're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on growing. And that's what this is all about, man. be neutral, be ready, be beautiful, be you. And with that, I intend on all you guys to feel beautiful today, to feel confident being naked, to feel love in some kind of way, and intend on making yourself the best version that you can be, and going out there and just being happy for no reason. Because like I say, when you're grinning, you're winning, and that's what it all comes down to. I just want to tell you guys that I love you. I'm here for you. Drop me a line. Make sure you guys are, following me on the gram. Check out my kids. See, taking care of the neighborhood. My wolf and my bear, they're actually over there sleeping right now. She's on the bed snoozing. I got the gang. The crew's doing the best to keep it going, keeping it lit, keeping it, just keeping that space. An animal can show you really, about what being neutral is. Because they'll be calm, but when it's time to get lit, they're rip-roaring and ready to go at any given time. And that's a beautiful thing that you want to know. For that, I just want to tell you guys again, I love you. I'll be around. Make sure you guys, drop me a line, man. I'll be here for you. We're going to have plenty more beautiful experiences to come. 2020 is lit. We're going to get huge. Let's grow massive. Let's become the giant gods that we are. Spreading that love and being thankful every minute, every moment of the way. Thank you so much. You guys are beautiful. Peace.